So Bob didn't make this bike easy.
No, he didn't.
You know, Bob started fabricating this
Right.
thing
Yeah,
in December
Right,
of 2011
right,
was when he bent the tube.
yeah.
And then, you know, me and him back and forth. You were watching it
Oh, yeah.
all
Yeah.
along the way. So,
He's showing it to me all the time.
and the whole time you're thinking,
Yeah.
how in the hell am I going to paint that bike, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the year, that is the year that Bob and I met. That was 97. And so I had that bike. And I've got photographs of this too. Sitting in the show, in the Boardwalk show. And it's Fino, the French painter up in Canada. There's my bike, the Softail, and then Tom Pruitt's Phantom of the Opera bike that won all kinds of awards back in those days. We're all three together parked right there. And, you know, me and Clyde McCullough, who was with me, my friend, we were standing around and we were looking at all the bikes, and I see this guy standing like from where the garbage can is, me to the bike. Long beard, you know, he's standing there, and I'm going, man, that guy looks like he's with ZZ Top. And, you know, finally he comes over and starts talking, and it was Bob.
Right.
And so we were just going, you know, blah, 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 well, this is, well, I did this, and he said, and then I did that. And then he said, well, I was down here in Daytona painting in 72, and I said, well, I'm up there in Nashville painting in 72. Right. And we figured out we're both the same age, been through the same, you know, years of the 70s doing all that sort of stuff, and it was really cool. And so that's how we met. And from that point on, he was using Vince Goodeve to do his painting back then. And he started calling me, just going, well, what do you think of this? Well, what do you think of that? What do you think of this? And he'd send it to me, look at it, and we'd talk about all the different projects and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just really good. We became, you know, very, very close during all those years, just like with you.
Yeah.
And it was a great connection, and on his trips down to visit you, he'd stop by here and visit me.
Yep.
Then all the way back
Every
up,
time.
he'd stop by.
What we want to do is stay true to the bike. And one of the things that Andy and I joked about earlier was, you know, Bob said a custom bike can be any color as long as it's red. So,
Yeah.
so incorporating red into it, but then at the same time, I had talked to Andy, you know, kind of his, I mean, all your paint jobs are incredible, but your signature thing is the
Old 70s
the
ribbon
70s
stuff. Yeah.
ribbon stuff.
Yeah.
Andy's been, even though just had shoulder surgery,
Yeah.
Andy's been sketching some stuff already, and while all of them look incredible, there's a flame job. Here's some more ribbon stuff like that, and then so what we're looking at here is a side profile of the tank, and I mean, we start getting into these. Again, we're getting into some pretty crazy colors and stuff. And here's more of that's, you know, part of his signature stuff from the 70s there, which is pretty cool. So, like we talked about, one of the challenges is the exposed backbone, the tank split in half, the curve of it, everything else, and to try to get it all to tie in together, right?
Right.
And are we in agreement that these three are the direction to go,
I
or
think
something
so.
similar to
Yeah.
this?
Yep.
So my other thing, and what we've debated on, is what to do with the drivetrain, because obviously I want that to flow into the tank.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
at first we thought about the whole monochromatic thing and brush finishing everything
Right.
to tie in with the silver metal flake highlights and stuff. But then I did uncover a practically brand new OE set of chrome rocker boxes. But then I've got to figure out what to do with the pipes, because the only thing to do with them is to chrome them.
Yeah.
I like the lace wheels on it. We've got chrome pulleys on it, this and that, and I mean, chrome is timeless,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Everything, of course, you know, I'm fabricating doing like the mid control deal on it. You helped
Right,
me with that,
right,
gave me some
yep.
great ideas there. basically chrome everything that bolts on in your core engine components, like head, cylinders, cases, trans case, inner primary case, all that. Just do it all natural aluminum.
You could.
What do you
Yep,
think?
Yep, it would work. It would work fine. Really would. You could even go back to what he did with that Tracy bike, on it, which was a lot of bead blasted stuff too, on the cases with that. So as long as the contrast is the biggest thing on these things anyway. So you've got enough there, either that or doing everything with one whole theme of color.
Right.
Like my cases over here, they're all painted to match the bike. But I don't think this would suit that. I think this needs to be where you look at it as a whole project, not as one particular component.
Right.
Just overpowering the other. So if that's the whole reason why we're sticking to something, not as elaborate on the paint, but still works with all the rest of everything that's going on with the bike. Tie in with what you're doing on your chrome and your finishes too, on your engine, valve covers, all that sort of stuff.
And just, bead blast everything, cylinders and everything, but chrome covers and kind of tie it together.
Maybe you could do the barrels or the jugs in a black powder coat or black or something like that, just to have the contrast on the engine there.
Now, too, there's so much, of course, the theme of the bike being the curved bike, no straight lines on it anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think while these lines follow the curve, they almost accentuate that fact. They're all, so there's so much going on with just the shape of the bike. It's even like we talked about the frame, doing a bunch of pinstriping on the frame and on the lowers and all that. I almost think anything other than just black on all those components would take away from...
Yeah, true, and it's just it's a time and a what's practical at this point on this thing.
Right.
Got to get it done.
Of course.
Because all the rest of the stuff, then you'd be having to shuffle that up here, waiting on me, then get that back to you, then you do all the engine and getting that stuff ready to go. So by this is it's going to be it'll be a nice project and it'll be unique. I think that's the key word on this thing.
I think so.
It's going to be unique, just like you are.
Oh man, I'm just a bystander watching your magic happen.
No.
So what do we do on the front of the tank? Because it's got that major curve and then it rolls down. Is it just black on the front portion?
Either that or I do.
Oh man, you got a whole folder full.
See how that just carries forward
To the front.
right there. Yeah. Oh, really?
Well, and then I figure because there won't be any levers on the bars at all.
Okay.
Right. So that's you twist that for the clutch, and then of course internal throttle.
Yeah.
So what we had talked about down here, I'm making twin master cylinders, one with like a mechanical proportioning valve.
Right.
So there'll be no levers on the bars. So my thought, if you remember, all this is molded together.
Yeah.
Just do bars black, this hole nacelle, if you want to call it that, black. The legs black.
Yeah.
And I'm almost thinking on the trees.
Yeah.
Part of me says polish them to match the chrome.
Yeah.
The other part is black them out.
Yeah. But I like the polish. And then that's why I was saying paint the jugs black. So you'll have some contrast there.
Okay.
So that it'll pop, that anything that's in front of it, all this around it will stand out. You got, chrome pipe, you got this all polished up in chrome tappets, and covers, and it just could use a little bit of contrast right there. There's a little gold leaf pinstripe going around there.
Ooh.
Just like.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that you don't catch right off the bat, but when you start looking at it, you start going, oh, yeah, okay. Just gives it a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Uh-huh. And then actually what I was thinking about doing too on this edge, see where you see, say that's going to be silver flake, but maybe right off to the edge, see how I did. This is kind of something I've been doing where I throw white pearl over the flake and it gives a translucent look with that coming through. we do a little bit of the white pearl, then the gold. But I just have to see what kind of room I end up with.
Yeah.
Move on.
But what's interesting is a lot of folks, the old folks know you from the bike world, right?
Right.
You've been around for forever. You were old when dirt was new, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of motorcycle guys don't know how expensive your screen printing career was.
Oh, yeah.
But then on the screen printing side, most of those people have no idea about all this.
Yeah, they're very confused.
Yeah. The Nashville folklore, they love the history, all that stuff. Like, they do things like they collect Hatch show prints, right?
Yeah, I printed those. I printed for Hatch show print.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I have original Hatch show prints that we took those prints and turned them into shirts that they sold at Hatch show print.
And then I started flipping open some pictures of your shirts.
Yeah.
Right, even back the old Kenny Rogers one from like '84 and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the Garth Brooks one you did, that he's all shaded
Yeah.
and blacked out.
Yeah.
But you can even see like the
Yeah.
pimples on his nose.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I've got
his
that
hair follicles.
shirt sitting right over there. Yeah.
So I showed them that, and they went, "Man, that's a nice looking print." And I said, "No, guys, that's a silk screen on his shirt."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah. It's all just tied into the art and all that sort of stuff. I did done, you know, Jimmy Buffett, Neil Young, Marty Robbins, all Charlie Daniels, Barbara Mandrell.
And even some modern stuff though too, right?
Yeah.
You did some Taylor Swift stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. We did her whole tour, all of her merchandise from 2007 up to 2018. That was all our stuff. Everything that was out there.
Huh.
So yeah, I'm inducted into the Academy of Screen Printing almost 10 years ago. But you're nominated by your record and your contribution to the industry by your peers that are in it, kind of like Academy Awards. And there was only like 75 people in it when I was inducted into it. You can see where there's a little bead where we've worked that. Lose these bolts. I end up losing these things. I'm screwed.
Lose
Of course.
your bolts, you're screwed.
Yeah. There you go. Metal stuff.
Just how you built all this up here
Somebody
too.
that's as good as Rob Roll wouldn't be doing it this way. He would just set it up there, make his pattern, cut it all up, and it would work like butter.
Yeah.
You know, we're not Rob.
No, we're not Rob, that's for sure.
I'm definitely not for you.
He's so humble about it too.
Yes,
that's
he is.
that's the thing.
He's a master. He really is.
I mean, he told me, he goes, "Man, I don't have any fancy equipment. I just hammer it out and
And that's
hammer it out."
Yeah.
The archive cabinet. So this is the 50-year-old.
This is what I used to use on the vans before all these fancy things. Was
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I did, all my fades and blends and the panels. But all of this looks like underneath that.
Oh, okay.
So I've already got my tape layout for the ribbon work. This was just playing around with markers as to colors that I was going to do, so I'm not even using those colors. But I can put that masking paper on, cut the mask, and then start doing my ribbons like I want to do them. How did you get into the bikes and all that sort of stuff? By your writing, when I read your writing.